All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D campaigns set in my weird, messed up homebrew D&D campaign setting, and the people below me are the people that are just, I think, happy to be playing again because I took like a month off
Happy.
because my brain doesn't like me. And eventually, the thing that my brain didn't like finally finished. So hopefully I will be on a more regular schedule. If you want more details, I made an entire video about it on my YouTube channel where I basically entitled it The Future of the Channel. And the first 30 seconds is going, the future of the channel is I've been sick. And as soon as I'm not sick, it will come back. And that's all it is. I'm not rethinking my life choices. I'm not considering moving. No, I'm just sick. Just sick because my brain doesn't like me. That's all it is. So, yeah. Trying to think if there's anything big happening. Not really. New campaign started on Zelda Universe. It's really fun. Jax plays in it.
And I'm very mean, so if you want to come.
It was really funny because Jax is a genuinely nice person, and playing such a mean character, I think during the game or shortly after it, she had to stop. She's like, I don't mean this for real. I mean, I don't want you guys to think that I really don't like. It's the character.
You asked for permission to be mean.
Yes, she did. It was hilarious.
To be mean. It's like I just want to be sure that I'm not hurting you guys' feelings. I don't know how vicious I can be without, because since we created the character Jody and we had that comeback, the Daisy comeback. I've been thinking, all right, well, if this is where she's going, let's start getting used to thinking of like quick insults. And it's like, that was too mean. Like Alex, when Alex made that comment, it's like, I don't want to play a character. It's like, no, it's not you. Your character's great. I love you, Alex. My character's just not nice.
Still doesn't stop you from collecting pets.
Yep. He's making them. He is making them all.
I know, right?
It is not my fault.
Jody would stop making characters.
I could make the most unlikable NPC ever, and Jax would go, "Aww." Again,
use you for inspiration.
One of the NPCs I created for Realms of the Wild spoke like this and was intended to just be something to annoy Elias with because that's the kind of friendship we have. And Arel, Jax's old character, still wanted to adopt him. Like, his voice was nails on a chalkboard, and we're like, "Aww,
aren't you cute?"
So I give up responsibility for you guys getting more and more pets. It is not my fault. This is something you guys do, and I can make the most unlikable characters ever, and you will still find a way to adopt them. So.
We just need a full ship. That's really what we're doing. Is a full ship full of pets.
Your ship isn't that big.
Yeah.
You're going to run out of rooms.
We have new cubby holes where we can have.
We're gonna have to find those Kenku again to make some extensions.
Upgrades.
You guys are going to be hiding crew in extra dimensional spaces, hoping that the air stays.
It's not like you don't have an artificer who works on ships or anything with you.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll just leave like a snorkel coming out the top.
Every time you have people on your ship, they just see these random air tubes. What? Don't worry about it. You don't have random tubes on your ship? No. Well, maybe you should.
Do you want to find out? Do you want to find out what's at the bottom? You just put on this collar first.
You're such a good boy. Yes, you are.
Oh my God! What is that coming out of that hole in space? Oh, that's Gary. Don't worry about it.
Gary.
You guys are going to adopt like a void creature or like a behold. You guys are going to find a beholder someday. You're like, "Aw, little hate monster, aren't you just precious?"
I am so
Poisonous blob.
like-
Oh, we love you so much.
Who's a good abomination? Who's a good abomination? Is it you? Is it you?
I'll give you guys a
Considering
Zorn.
the
That's a
amount of
fun one.
beholders you threw at us in Kale Isles, I am so glad we did not go that route.
Anyway, so I think that means it's time to return to traversing the veil. The Fading Isles have become more interesting as of late. The crew joined an expedition to explore a newly emerged Fading Isle. Their job? Go out, hunt creatures to make it safe for the rest of the expedition to collect resources. After finding some interesting creatures, including large insectoid dinosaurs and Utyugs, they returned from their first expedition out and made a decent amount of change. But while they were out, the rest of the Fading Isle surfaced from beneath the veil, and they discovered something that had never happened in the history of the sovereignty. Wow, brain just left me for a second.
Okay, it has been like 5 years.
At the edge of the isle were ruins. No Fading Isle had ever surfaced with any ruins, structures, any instance of habitation. Before they were able to discover what exactly it was, an explosion happened, and they were framed for an attack on the settlement. After going through some trite legal proceedings and proving their innocence, they decided to leave via their ship to get to the southwestern edge of the island to hopefully beat whomever it was that framed them and discover exactly what these ruins contain. So, with your upgrade, what should take a couple days to sail down there will take you at max about 8 hours. So a full kind
Wow.
of traveling day. However, if you push your ship that hard, there is a chance that the boost feature that has been installed as part of the upgrades may become damaged. So it is up to you guys if you want to risk. It will, whether or not it becomes damaged, you guys will get there in 8 hours. But being able to use it afterwards may require someone repairing it or having to go somewhere specially to get it repaired.
So I don't remember. I asked if I can inspect the power upgrade. I know I did, but I don't know. I don't remember how much I learned of it.
If I remember correctly,
to fix it. with time?
It's as of right now, it is beyond your capability to understand it. You did get a pretty good look at it, but it's a form of technology that you've just never dealt with.
Gotcha. Okay.
Building the ships, like you built the ships themselves, and you might have worked on propulsion systems as part of that. But for the most part, most ships in the Sovereignty travel on wind power. And so propulsion is not something that's super common as of yet in the Sovereignty.
Okay.
So if I remember correctly, so we were detained for 24 hours, right?
Roughly, yeah.
Okay. And the ruins were how far away from There were several days, correct?
Yeah, to get there, going on the island, it took you guys, I think it was about a day and a half or 2 days to get to the Mushroom Forest, and the ruins themselves are easily double to triple that. So it was looking like the better part of 5 days to a week-long journey to get to the ruins by land, depending on how fast you pushed yourself.
And if we don't use the propulsion, how long will it take to get there?
About 2-ish days.
So we'd still beat out the rest of the party.
Well,
very
yes, the one thing that you guys have been made aware of is because the island has continued to rise, there is a chance that there's going to be no way for you to actually get on the island down there.
That's right.
So you guys are going to have to deal with whatever's. It might be a sheer cliff face. It might be crumbling. You guys don't know how you're going to get on the island at that point, so that will necessarily add extra time that you guys can't account for.
Some people are small enough to throw.
I did ask Declan if he could hook us up with some climbing gear. That was the
yes, and so you do have climbing gear.
And I have sharpshooter. It works on everything.
Sharpshooter!
It only works on what you're not aiming at.
So she's gonna aim at the person on top.
I'll aim at you then.
So yes, you guys.
As long as you're aiming dead center at me, I'll be safe.
So you guys, technically, what happened to give the full kind of timeline of events? The morning of the explosion, the first half of that day was taken up with the explosion and all that. The second half of where you guys were in prison, so that was 1 day delayed. And then technically you had an entire second day where you were waiting for Aui's representative to come in. So you guys were delayed for probably about 2.5-ish days because the trial took half a day as well. So they have about 2.5 days start if they left around the time that the explosion started happening, which you guys have no reason to doubt that they would have done that. You've seen no indication of them being anywhere since the initial explosions.
And just to point out for context, when we went to the Mushroom Forest, it took a good day and a half for us to get there before we had to camp.
Right.
And there's always ways that you could increase your travel speed if you push yourself. You can risk levels of exhaustion to go faster if you have some sort of travel, like using horses or other magical means of. There are always ways to increase your speed up to a certain point. So
it does also depend.
Yeah, and if we would theoretically end up using horses, we'd be straining the horses as well.
Mm-hmm.
It would also, just for context as well, depending on how much of the crew that Smegwick is worrying about versus what the actual team complement is. Because if you recall, they should have already been on their way, but someone's sure as hell stuck around to try and create a fire.
And the last shot.
Fire some pitch, flaming pitch into a certain Dragonborn's galleon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, right now, probably your biggest challenge is the fact that you don't know what's. There are so many things that you don't know. You don't know when they left.
On the other side.
You don't know exactly who's going. It's possible that the person that planted the bombs and everything was never intending to go to the ruins, and their entire job was to stick around. So everything on the other side of the equation is unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very possible.
So with that lack of knowledge, what would y'all like to do?
Oh God.
I said the ship will still work without the propulsion system that you guys had installed. So it's not like you guys will be stranded. You just will be traveling at your normal speed. Because the propulsion system was never technically intended to be used this way. It was meant to give you a quick boost to get you out of danger quickly. And you guys are basically going to be using it as continuously as possible to cut significant time off of a trip. So that's why.
10 minutes, right?
Yeah, it normally lasts 10 minutes. So which
I don't think we ever pinned down the speed. I just remember you said it was incredibly fast.
yeah, it was fast enough that you guys scraped a fair amount of paint off of your hull as you were going through very narrow channels.
Yeah.
No, we went for the straightaway before that happened because you were like, no, if we hit the turbo now, we're dead.
But yeah. So it's up to you how much you guys will want to use it. Just understand the more you use it, the more of a chance that it might get damaged. So that being said, what would you all like to do?
The booster or the ship as a whole?
The booster. The ship, for the most part, is going to be, unless you run it into the island, it should be
true.
fine.
Okay.
So if we use it, go ahead.
It was just going to be a silly idea of, like, if we get just the right angle, we could, like, Dukes of Hazzard it.
And coup de burst it?
Well, here's
Thomas
another
plays a
situation
trumpet,
our
right?
crew's gotten themselves into. I mean, Reggie already does a kind
Just
of
a pair of
Jesse
good
voice.
old boys.
So if we use the booster intermittently instead of continuously.
Yeah, like
Basically, the less you
every
use it,
so often.
mechanics-wise, the less you use it, the lower the DC is going to be. That you have to roll higher for it to not get damaged on the trip. So,
But if we use but we're still okay. So we're still making checks if you use the regular amount. Push the button, let it recharge. Push the button, let it recharge.
yeah, no. If you push the button, let it recharge. Using it so many times in quick succession is what's going to damage it. Again,
Okay.
it wasn't meant to be used almost continuously.
Okay.
Press it, let it run its course, give it an hour and a half.
I
do it
agree.
again.
So like cut our time in half instead of
So yeah, instead of it,
instead of it being 2 days, or instead of it being 2 days, it'd be 2.5 days or 3 days.
No, he said conservatively is 8 hours, right?
So 2
Right,
days
that's
is how long
8
it
hours
will take you guys
continuous
to
use.
go without any propulsion whatsoever. 2 days is what it'll take to get you down there. If you use it as much as you can cut the time down to 8 hours is
Oh, okay.
the shortest you
So
can get.
we'll be there in about a day instead. If we do it intermittently, it'll still take
Yeah.
us a day instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm cool
That
with
might
that.
that honestly
I'm
might
fine
be the
with
best
that.
bet. We'll have less of a chance of damaging it, and we'll
Yeah.
still have a good chance of
I'll
beating the other
be
guys.
Yeah.
down.
still having a day.
excellent.
We also might have to get out of Dodge fast too. So
Yes, that's what I was nervous about. We gotta go.
So yeah, it's not getting there that's the problem. It's getting out of there when we're
That's
done.
what-
Yeah.
So
Okay.
intermittent.
Okay. So
All right. So we have an accord.
So you guys all get on your ship, and as you start going, Reggie, you get to your kind of familiar position at the helm, and do you guys wait until you're kind of out of view of the?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, it
I
takes
still
you.
don't want people knowing that our ship can do this.
So it takes you guys about
We
20
still taking
minutes
those steps.
to get to a point where you don't think people from the settlement can see you anymore. You hit your first boost, and the more you use it, you start realizing that it's in your best interest to trim your sails when you are using it more
Boosting.
heavily, because the sails start acting as
Oh, I figured we were.
Parachute.
a parachute basically.
Well, I figured we did.
So you guys kind of have to find a happy medium between using it and trimming the sails, and then not using it and letting the sails go on and catch the breeze again. But after about 12 hours of travel, you guys can see in the distance where it is that you're going to be going in the next probably another 4 to 6 hours worth of travel time. Before you actually get there, and you can actually see what it is you're going to be dealing with. From far away, you can see that part of the island, while it is the lowest part of the island, is still anywhere from about 100 to 250 feet above the level of the Vale. And hold please. There.
Hi, I'm Reggie. Hi, I'm Mariah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of the places from where it goes to the Vale, it actually kind of scoops out like this. So attempting to climb it would require climbing on basically climbing upside down, which even with climbing gear, that is an extremely advanced method of climbing that without pretty significant amounts of training is not something normal people tend to want to do too often.
Rexney, didn't you make grapple hook arrows?
Yes, I did.
Which would definitely be useful.
I got lots of them.
Just don't yell
I think I got-
sharpshooter when you shoot them.
Sharpshooter. Wait, ended up back on the ship. Hold on. I think
No,
I
then
got-
we're gonna be running all over the
6 or 8.
deck trying to dodge the grapples, and they're coming back down.
Let me see how many I need. Holding keys. 1, 2, 3. 12. I have 12.
In addition to that, you guys can see bits of the face itself do fall off every so often.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we can't park directly under.
So, that being said, again, another 3-4 hours, you'll be in a good place, but none of you had a chance to actually rest yet, since you've all have had to be kind of watching everything and adjusting the sails pretty regularly. So the first thing I'm going to have you guys do is I'll have Reggie do this I'll have Reggie do it. Just roll me a d20 since you're the pilot to see how heavily you've taxed your new propulsion system.
Just a straight D20,
Just a
nothing
straight
else
D20
to it.
roll. Yep.
Alrighty.
Oh, even with us using conservatively?
Yeah, what it did is it reduced the difficulty class.
That is a 7.
7. Okay.
7
So,
damage.
the entire ship explodes. No. As you guys get there, you're getting ready to do kind of your last push to try and just shave that little bit of time off. And as you press it, you feel the whole ship kind of shudder a little bit. And you do move forward a little bit, but not nearly as fast as you think you should or you have been. And you think there has been some damage. You're not entirely sure how much damage has been caused. It'll require you guys to actually look at the system, which
I can do it.
in the best case scenario, you would want to have a dry dock to do that. You can do it while you're in the water, but in the Vale, but it's significantly more difficult. So, but you guys got to where you want, and it doesn't seem like the thing is completely broken. It just doesn't seem quite as reliable as it was previously. So that being said, what would you guys like to do?
How close are we to the entrance?
As far as like how close are you to the actual wall?
Yes.
Right now, you're probably about 500-600 feet away to avoid anything falling.
Okay.
When you guys actually want to go out, which you probably want to do tomorrow morning since you haven't slept at all yet, you can get right up to it. You'll just have to leave someone on the ship to kind of redirect it back away so that the ship doesn't get hit by falling debris.
Does Thomas know how to drive the ship?
It's a fantastic question.
I thought you said he couldn't drive the ship.
I don't know if you guys have ever asked him.
No, I did.
Did you? Oh, no, he can't drive the
He's been
ship.
training with Reggie. You didn't know? It's a secret.
Yeah, it's a secret to everyone, including the
was-
DM, apparently.
I mean, you could. I mean, I don't know what he's been up to.
So,
since during this time. I
to
don't know.
actually pilot a Vale ship,
Magic.
you need
You
to
need magic.
you need magic simply because you need to be able to feel the currents and everything. However, to move it from point A to point B a few hundred feet away is something that most people can figure out how to do without too much difficulty.
Okay.
He would never be able to pilot it any significant amount of distance or even really dock the ship because that requires a little bit extra. But he can move it far enough away that it's not going to get crushed.
Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, if somebody wants to stay on the ship, you're more than welcome to. I'm certain that won't cause any issues whatsoever.
Yeah.
Ogon will do it. Ogon got this.
Oh god, you guys just tie ropes
Tie his body
to various
the-
things, and you watch him just go around. Dun, 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 arr, arr.
Yeah, how's Ogun gonna get up there?
It's a fantastic question. That's what you guys get to plan now. So what?
Well,
Go ahead.
we could hypothetically, if we make it to the top, then we just simply need a strong person who just basically can just. I'm sure between that and a Harengon ingenuity can do a winch.
Ding, ding, ding.
There's always
Or
that. You
rockets.
guys
Do we
have
have rockets?
you guys have a significant amount of rope
And gliders?
available to you.
There are
Yeah.
no Zonai equivalents in this campaign.
Wrong campaign.
Sorry.
Oh,
However, if you guys
I
did
don't
wanna
have channel
create
points
a
to help
gi-
make that.
if you guys did want to create a giant battle mech, no.
no.
Crexney, so what
Why
I'm gonna
are we
need is
even
some
here?
fans.
No battle mechs in my D&D game? Screw this.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Wait, shit, I'm already home.
All right. So
Alright. So
Well-
we're gonna
we need to sleep, he said. But I
Well-
would like to kind of semi-plan before we go to sleep, so
What I'm
that
thinking
we
is-
can work on it.
Before you guys go to sleep, you would basically kind of plan what you want to do, and then you would have your long rest.
Okay.
So,
Cool. All right.
so some things that some of you would probably have figured out, even if you were not particularly skilled in climbing. Climbing on your own has sets of dangers. You can always slip, and even with pythons and things like that, climbing alone is considered an extremely dangerous thing.
Is it something that we could, if we pulled the ship close enough, we can hang off the ship and get to it, or do we have to go down from the wall?
You're going to be climbing up a wall, not down.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
just kidding.
you're the place you want to go is 100 to 250 feet up.
Ah,
Climbing with other people presents different problems. One person falling can drag the other person down, but they also can act as an additional anchor and save people. So depending on how you guys want to do this, there's going to be danger any way you decide to do this. Your kind of goal here is going to be, what do you think is going to give you the least amount of danger?
Well, if we have the rope and a very strong boy, I can essentially pull people up, correct?
Yes.
So if I get up there, and if someone else wants to come with me, I can just toss down a rope and.
Mhm.
I
one,
mean, I'm
see if there's
presuming the
something
rest of the crew can
tie
also
it up.
assist in you, but like, let's face it,
Yes.
you're pretty much number one on this.
Yes.
It's going to take all of us to give you the help, actually.
Yes.
See, the issue is not what happens once you have people up there. The issue is getting up there.
Yeah.
and
That's
can we? Is there any way to get above it, like completely above it? Like if we were on the island
I mean, that's
and kind
what.
of drop down?
So where you guys are, the island has slowly been rising out of the Vale, and so what has happened is, by the time you get there, the island has risen so far that the lowest part of the island is 100 to 250 feet above you guys. So that's what you're trying to overcome. There isn't a better place that you're going to be able to get on. Like, this is the lowest part of the island.
so Crexney's hook shot, the arrows that she made. What's
Mhm.
the distance on those?
Short range for a hand crossbow is 30 feet. Long range is 120 feet. Since she does
Even-
have sharpshooter,
What about those super guns that we stole and I have sharpshooter?
those are heavy crossbows, which I believe is 1,2600. I want to say. So they have slightly,
I know they have great range.
yeah, they've got really good range.
And they
Your-
work on furniture.
They do. They're very adept at getting various lawn
Especially-
furnitures.
Yeah.
The issue
Got
you guys are going to have is finding something. Again, if you are shooting something from far away into rock that is already unstable, there's always a chance that it will destabilize the rock and it'll fall out. So part of, like, if you guys want to figure out where the best place to shoot it, there's going to be knowledge checks and perception checks and all these other things. It just depends on how you guys want to go about this. If you want to free climb it, you have climbing gear, so you guys can free climb. If you want to try shooting grappling hooks and using that, you can go that route. Every route is going to have difficulties. It just depends on which route you guys want to take.
Right.
There's teleportation stuff as well. There's just the issue that none of you guys can teleport high enough to get up there, and appearing randomly and then trying to grab onto a cliff face is significantly more difficult than it sounds.
Yeah, and
How many of these like rope guns do we have? Like, do we just have one? Or
No,
do
we have
like
2. I think we have 3 crossbow supreme guns.
You basically have 3 sniper rifle crossbows.
I thought we had 4, but Thomas has one of them. Just remember?
After our fight, I wrote down 3.
Okay.
So yeah. So you guys had 3. I believe I believe you guys might have tried to get more, but they were either damaged or something. And so 3 were the only ones that were able to be salvaged enough that they were still usable.
I was supposed to make another one, but I didn't yet.
Oh, that's what it was. There we go.
I might be, and this is also Evan talking here, I might be confusing how rocks work in terms of durability and stability or something. But I literally just had an idea pop in my head. We could work off of the idea where we can use one of the guns to shoot like a rope up there, and maybe if we aim it right, we can anchor it to like the rock face to something to like pull on. But what if we use all 3 guns at the same time, attach all 3 arrows to the same rope so that it could like divide up the tension up top? It might have less of a chance of it like breaking apart if it's pulling from 3 separate even points and not just a single point.
So
I think it's the fact that it can't grip. So if we shoot into breaking rock already, no matter how many you shoot, it's gonna fall out.
Yeah.
So pythons. Are you guys familiar with what pythons are? They're basically these little spikes that have a hook that have a circle on the end. That free climbers, what they do is that they're climbing, they actually hammer them into rock. And a lot of in modern times, they've actually fallen out of favor because they do damage the rock face. But that's part of free climbing and things like that. When they did use pythons, was the idea that every anywhere from 3 to 5 feet, you'd put a python on, you'd link through it, so that if you did fall, you would be stopped by that, and the more you had, the less weight was going to be put on a single python. And when you had multiple people climbing, you would all be attached to each other, and that's how climbing works. So it's theoretically possible that you can shoot and get it to stick into the rock well enough to anchor. The problem is going to be none of you are trained climbers, so none of you have the expertise to know which spots to really aim for that are going to be able to hold it. It would kind of be luck.
How about this? How about we take these anchors that you're talking about and already have rope laced through them? So say we have 12 of them. The rope's through all 12, and we shoot one at a time and tug on the rope. Like, we don't let go of the rope. So
you can
pull the rope. So we'll shoot all 12 we'll shoot one. Everybody put all their weight on it and kind of pull on it. Shoot the next one, see if that works until we get all of them to a good place where none of them come out.
That is an absolutely viable solution. However, the longer something is in the rock and the longer it has weight attached to it, it can still eventually fail, but that is a very good way to get rid of as much uncertainty as you can.
Without hurting or losing anything,
Yeah. And if you, like, again, you guys have a significant, because of the fact that you got enough climbing kits for 5 climbers, you guys have tons of pythons to experiment with, and your grappling hooks are in limited supply, but the pythons themselves, you probably have.
Would I be able to
50
modify
to 100
them to shoot them out of the gun itself, so that we don't have to use any grappling hooks?
Is it theoretically possible? Yes. All of that stuff takes time. So it depends
How
on how
much
much
time would
time.
it be to create enough we need if I don't sleep and then I stay on the ship and
Do not exhaust yourself before we do climbing.
Please
I
do
wouldn't be
not.
climbing. I said I would stay on the ship. Someone has to stay on the ship.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. You don't
Okay.
have to. If you want to, you can. Splitting the party is never a bad idea in D&D. But
Oh God.
There we go.
Don't put that out in the universe.
but a lot of it will depend on how many you want to make. You want to make a dozen of them. It involves a little bit of kind of filing that down. Pythons are already designed to be thrust into wok and held, so modifying them to the point of being able to be fired into them. The most difficult part of that is going to be figuring out how to do it without damaging the Pythons. Depending on your roles, it might take a few hours to design something. It might take over a day because, again, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the phrase "build a better mousetrap."
Kind of.
But it's an idea in engineering where the idea that the very simple mousetraps that you can get for like $1 a piece are technically considered a perfect machine because they're at the point where ease of use, lethality, and purpose is balanced so much that if you try to add anything to any aspect of it, it will lose something else. It'll still work, but it'll lose something somewhere else. So it's at a point of equilibrium. Okay. So you basically would be kind of trying to build a better mousetrap with these Pythons. They're already designed to do a very specific feature, and they work very, very well for that. So finding a way to improve on a feature that they were designed for can take a lot of time. Or if you get a stroke of genius, it may be very quick. It'll depend on your roles. So if you want to spend a few hours before you go to bed to not risk exhaustion levels, just seeing how far you can get, and then make your decision tomorrow morning. You guys got here in a day. So you've already cut your travel time. Compared to going above land, you've cut 6 days off your journey.
But we only have 4 because they got 2 days advance.
So yeah, you guys have all of this is going to be, every decision you make is going to have consequences. You guys just need to figure out which consequences you're okay having.
We're taking.
I mean, between our climbing gear and enchant, I think we use the grapple hooks as you were talking about. That's really kind of our best shot. To getting out there. I think anything else we're going to be overcomplicating it and quite possibly making it harder on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you just want to grapple hook and pull and see
Grapple
what's
hook,
gonna.
grapple hook and climbing gear, grapple hook and climbing gear, like you were talking about.
That might be our best bet, honestly.
Okay. Well, like I said, I have 12 grapple hooks. I don't know if we're gonna need more.
And if you have them attached to ropes, if you miss or they fall out, you just pull them back in.
So, are we sending... Go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm presuming we're going to leave a lifeline. We're going to, leave a line. Someone's going to have a line that
Wrapped around them to the boat, to the ship.
Because we're going to need to get Ogun. And so we have, Ogun trussed up. So that way, when we get to the top, we have some way of pulling him up.
Mm.
So the big question you guys still have to answer for me to understand what's going on is how many people are going to actually be climbing and who are those people going to be?
I'm climbing.
I mean, what's the alternative to not climbing?
I'm climbing.
Staying on the ship.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean the initial climb up. Once you have somebody up there,
one.
they can
One is
pull
initial
people
climb.
up.
Correct.
One is initial climb.
Which is
and
why I'm definitely climbing.
Like I said, there are dangers to a single person climbing on their own, and there are dangers to multiple people climbing together. It really depends on what you guys are comfortable with as far as what you feel is going to give you the best odds. So if you want to send a single person up, if you want Arai to go by himself all the way up, that is a solution to this problem. If you want to partner it so you have 2 people that can help each other up, that's a solution. If you all want to climb up, that's a solution. all of these are viable solutions. All of them will have different things you have to deal with. Your decision is which one do you like the best.
Pretty sure you don't want the goblin with a -1.
I was about to say, who's the lightest, Owie?
No, I think it's Smegwick.
I'm the lightest.
Yeah,
Are you the
Smegwick
lightest?
is small. Aoi is still technically she's a
Medium.
small dragonborn, but she's still a dragonborn. So she's
Okay.
a
Still
decent
would-
sized girl.
What it would
Still
really depend
technically
on would be
medium.
strength.
So yeah, my thought was someone who is a little bit smaller with you, and that way we can keep Ogon on the ship. If we can wrap rope around the 2 people climbing, at least if anything happens and they were to fall, we can get them back to the ship.
Right. Yeah, we're still gonna have something with us to the ship, or tying us to the ship.
Yeah.
That way, if we do fall, at least we'll have.
And then Ogon can pull us up.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys would need someone what?
Like,
A
we're gonna
little
have to walk it.
smaller.
We're gonna pull Ogun up, but if we're saying if we fall off,
If
Ogun
we fall,
can pull
Ogun can pull
us
us
up.
up.
Oh.
Because I don't think you guys can. I don't know if all of you guys can pull her up or him up by yourself.
I can climb the rope if it's anchored somewhere too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm going up.
Okay.
Who else is?
So am I yodeling on you?
No. 'cause the-
Yes.
Run,
Yes.
jump. I can be a backpack while you run.
No. No, 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 no.
Well,
Leave it to you to make it so absolutely dirty doing Yoda.
me?
Well, someone sure as hell wasn't me.
That's the song from Bad Lip Reading. Swing from a hairy vine. I can be a backpack while you climb. Stand on one hand to lift. Rock with your special gift. Now run, 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 run. Now stop.
Put me down.
I like to groove and boogie. Ooh yeah. Show you some dance moves. Ooh.
Okay, we lost it.
Sorry. Okay.
Quick
So
mention to anyone who's live in the channel. Hey, did you know you can contribute points and redeem stuff for the characters so that they don't die?
Like reroll tokens.
That'd be nice.
Jason, thank you. Hi, love you.
So anyone that is quote unquote climbing with Arai is going to be actually climbing with them,
Yeah,
not climbing
separately.
on Arai. That would just make Arai's job more
obviously.
difficult.
Yeah,
I-
because essentially what it would be is
Partnering.
Partner climbing.
One.
I loathe to recommend this, but I am somewhat serious. Because
We're gonna send the 2 best people together. This is gonna be the best story ever.
Just
Jody,
You're touching my butt.
I don't know who else does, but but a certain goblin has Featherfall.
oh,
Okay.
okay. That's a good point. And what skills would we need a decent amount of?
Climbing
to,
is generally an athletics check.
Okay.
Because it does take it takes a lot of
I'm
strength
out.
and conditioning to
I'm out.
be able to do it.
Ain't gonna happen.
I've done a little bit of rock climbing, and I actually did really well when I did my 1 bit of rock climbing. And the next day, the thing I was not expecting is my forearms hurt so bad
I
because
used to rock
gripping
climb
onto
in
stuff.
Boulder.
Yeah, it's super
Actually, I
fun.
went rock
If
climbing recently. It was a lot of fun.
you guys get a chance to do it, it's super fun. But
And
Not to
finger
mention
strength.
blistering the hell out of your palms.
Yeah. Well, fingers.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you have really good finger strength as things get more complex.
I
Okay.
made it all the way to the top of the wall, and then had to do because I ran out of handholds, and so I had to jump to which apparently is an advanced move that I didn't realize was
Damn.
advanced, and I did it. It wasn't like a big jump, like it was like 6 inches, but I was very proud of myself.
Very nice. Okay, so who else has high athletics?
I'm negative athletics.
Okay, not you.
I have
Or-
a +1.
If you guys can come up with creative ways to get around athletics checks, I'm willing to work with you guys. You just have
You
to.
yell parkour while you do acrobatics.
Parkour. Just
I
yell
would
sharpshooter.
say
Let's do everything.
I would need you to be a little bit more creative than I want to parkour up this shit.
You yell parkour while you do it.
Yeah.
Parkour.
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 That's-
Parkour.
that's
Off the box, over the
Parlay?
trash cans.
It's the same energy.
You have to-
Snip.
It's the same energy. You have to yell out Kobe whenever you throw something, and it will always land in the garbage can.
Like,
That being said, though, my athletics is only +4, but
Holy shit.
I
I'm negative,
personally am having PTSD with bad rolls, so now I'm starting to second guess, like, does Reggie really want to climb?
That's
Okay,
way
so
more
I
than
agree
me,
with
pal.
that.
So I'm climbing alone. Got it.
All right.
Okay, goddammit, I'll climb with you.
good luck.
Hey now.
You're an all-star. Sorry.
Do I need to go up with Arai?
It's up to you.
No, I'm
Again-
going with them.
Get as creative as you guys want to with this. Come up with weird ways to use spells, whatever you want. I'm open to weird stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe like intelligence is needed to figure out where good footholds are.
That definitely, you could definitely use like an investigation check to do that. Real quick, Arai from Crane's World, take a potion of greater healing.
Thank you.
And Shegwick, Crane's World, as a well, I think I will just wait because it looks like Crane's World is giving a bunch of greater healing potions. So once you are done, just say something in chat, and I will give them all out at once. But if I had to take a guess, you're probably all getting potions of greater healings. So, but I'll wait until it's all done so I don't give people multiple things.
Thank you.
All right, so yeah, it looks like everybody. So yeah, Arai, Smegwick, Aoi, Reggie, Crexney. Everybody take a potion of greater healing from Green's World.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, so Smegwick and Crexney will stay in the ship, and Shegwick and Trexney will go up.
Yes.
In their defense, the C in that particular art kind of looks like a T.
That's fair.
Could be worse. Could be Comic Sans.
I forbid it. So yeah, Arai definitely climbing. Reggie, yes climbing, no climbing?
I'm climbing.
Okay. Aoi, do you want to try to climb? Do you want to effectively spot from the ship for them?
I'll spot on the ship.
Okay.
I'll assist on the. Can more than one person, or is it like one person does one thing?
If you want to assist, you can. Basically, it would be like assisting in anything else. They
'Cause I
get
also had
advantage on the
investigation.
roll. So anytime you basically use the aid action, you just give the person doing it advantage on the roll. So if you want to help Aoi do it, then she would get advantage on her rolls.
Okay.
And then Crexney is going to be basically shooting handholds for them from the deck of the ship as they climb. Does that sound like what you guys are planning?
Yeah.
Just so I understand what's going on? Cool.
Sounds like a plan.
Alrighty.
So,
I have a
Go
question.
night-night.
When I use infuse item
Mhm.
and I use magic, could I potentially infuse magic on any of these to kind of hold the rock steady if I need to? I'm not saying I want to, just if I have to, like they're at the end.
Ooh.
If you
That is a
do that, you're trading
fantastic
off what you
question.
already have, though,
I'm trading off what?
because you can only have a certain number of infusions.
3. I'm just saying, like, if near the last when they're getting close, or if I see something I can't hit, like it just keeps falling out, they're gonna just hang there. Would I be able to use an infuse item to infuse one of the grapples that aren't sticking well enough to keep them safe if I have to?
so infuse item has to be done basically at the beginning of the day, so you wouldn't be able to do it in the moment. But
So if I had 2, since I have 3 slots,
Well,
if I do 2 of them.
so infuse item does very specific things. So I'm just looking at which infusions that you've taken to see which ones
Sure.
of those that will actually will work. So I'm trying to figure out where you list your infusions because I thought it was right here and it's not listing your infusions.
You have to hunt for it on bit. It's a pain. When I was doing that was
Is it in inventory? Because right now, I know one of the infusions you have is the Goggles of Night.
I think, isn't it? It's like its own little section with infusions. Let me just pull up mine.
Oh, here we go. I found the infusions. All right, so
Yeah.
one is Mind Sharpening. You have Enhanced Defense, Replicate Magic Item, Goggles of Night, Repeating Shot, and then Radiant Weapon. I would say if you wanted to use effectively... If you wanted to use the Enhanced Defense infusion on one of the grapples, I would say that it would be stronger. But that would mean right now you currently have your Studded Leather has Mind Sharpener on it.
Mm-hmm.
You have Goggles of Night, and you have your Longsword has Radiant Weapon on it. So if you wanted to use that, you would have to get rid of the infusion on either your Studded Leather, the Goggles of Night, or your Longsword.
Do you guys think that would be worth it? Just to have one in case?
I think we'll be okay. I think we have enough fail-safes in place that we will at least not need new characters.
I don't want to get rid of the knight or anything in case we get into that cave and then we ain't got nothing.
Yeah, I think our current plan is good.
I think this is as good as it's gonna get, honestly.
All right.
All right then. So, let's get some cool climbing stuff. See if that's what I'm looking for. I have this soundscape that I create that I always forget which each one. Despite the fact that they're labeled and named things that I should remember, I never remember what any of them sound like. That would not be the one I'm looking for.
Cowboy walking across the bar?
It's called Windswept Plains, so I'm looking for something with wind in it. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Why is this horse on the cliff face? Was this game made by Bethesda? Roach, get off the rocks.
Don't put horses near cliffs when Jax is around. She might try to murder them.
Eat.
I
That's why
just
she-
ran my horse into a Gleeok.
Oh yeah, how's that gone? Aren't Gleeok fun?
Yeah, ran away.
Quick aside.
The horse did not.
Quick aside. I knew someone. I was in someone else's stream, and they accidentally jumped off Epona and didn't realize how close they were to the cliff, and Epona went into the water. But they said like, "Oh, where's Epona?" It says like, "I don't know what you're talking about." There's a couple other Eponas listed in their thing. They said like, "Oh, he renamed Epona to Upstate."
Jax had a couple times in her Breath of the Wild run where she would take the horse. Like, she stranded it once in the middle of a river because she had jumped on a bunch of rocks and couldn't figure out how to get it back.
Oh my god.
So, became kind of the running tally of how many times she tried to murder her own horses.
To be fair, I forgot about the... just like when I was shooting the arrows, I forgot about the gyroscope in the controller. And so I was just playing like it was a normal controller and like moving my body and just like it... Yeah. Surprisingly difficult to steer things.
So, as you guys bring the ship closer, Arai and Reggie are hooked up with their climbing gear. They are attached to each other with about 10 foot of rope between them. And they have they each have a selection of pythons in a climbing bag so that they can put their own in. They have hammers so that they can hammer them into the rock face. We're going to start with Crexney, actually, since you are...
The sharpshooter.
Yes.
I mean, not saying sharpshooter.
Oh, no.
Since you're going to be starting this by giving them their initial
Can
handholds.
I do investigation or perception in order to see the best first hit?
Sure.
Or should I just take a shot at it.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Nice.
She finds all the good stuff.
So what did you roll?
Oh, 20. Sorry.
20.
Not
Not bad at all. So you guys watch as Crexty takes one of the sniper crossbows. She loads one of her grapple hooks that has a line already pre-attached to it. She brings it up to her shoulder. You watch her kind of settle in. She inhales, and as she exhales, she just slowly depresses the trigger and goes up. You guys watch it go. And the rope kind of dangles down. But it seems like it's stuck in there pretty well.
I whispered sharpshooter, guys.
Reggie gives her a pat on the shoulder. You did good, kid.
So it's still like we still have it, correct?
I assumed you guys put
Successful
enough
for us to-
put
lead
enough
on
rope on it so that even if it
Yeah.
fell, you could just pull it back in.
Okay, perfect.
You guys have an unlimited amount of rope right now because you just came from a dock telling people that you were going to go climbing. I'm pretty sure they would have given you rope.
Yeah.
You want to take a tug on it and
Yeah, that's exactly. what I was
wrap
going
yourself
to do.
around. Let's get you guys hooked up to these ropes and get them tied down to something.
So
first
as you
before
guys
try.
all kind of pull on it, it feels solid. Arai, especially coming from your background dealing with ruins and things like that, you're very used to testing if things will support your own weight. This feels good. This does not give you any trepidations. As you guys are testing it, you watch as a piece of the cliff face just kind of falls off.
No.
But it wasn't near where you guys put your fired that particular grappling hook. So you don't think that the impact of the grapple is what caused it to fall. So as far as you can tell, it seems as solid as it's going to be.
Okay.
And we have them already tied up and ready to go.
They're already
before they jump.
harnessed and everything.
Sure.
And we've got the rope to toss down. So
All right, Ogon, come here.
No.
cool.
All right,
Sure,
good luck.
Arise.
Oh, and I push him. Just kidding.
No.
The ship leaves and they don't.
How's it hanging?
One other thing you would all be aware with, especially since Thomas has already experienced this. The veil itself is a mixture of various chemicals. The two most dangerous things that can happen if you are actually submerged in the veil.
Suffocation?
There's a high nitrogen concentration, which nitrogen replaces oxygen in your blood. So you will suffocate. And there's also metallic gases, metals that are actually at the temperature of the veil are in gas form that will actually bind to the alveoli in your lungs and basically turn them metal, which will make it so that they can't actually work. So those are the two most dangerous things of being submerged in the veil. So holding your breath, good idea.
All right, good luck. See you later.
This is Sparta.
All right, here we go.
So I'm going to start off with Arai and Reggie. I just need athletics checks from the two of you to get started.
Oh joy!
You're sitting there going,
Are
maybe that
you
bard.
So Reggie doesn't
Fucking
go first.
Serious?
Is
Oh dear.
No,
So-
are we not helping with this?
I forget. Can I roll actual die, or do you want it in?
It's entirely up to you. I don't have a preference either. Even if you're rolling in roll 20, I still want you guys reading out your rolls anyway. Because first things first, I'm not looking at roll 20 right now.
Right.
And second, it's more engaging for the audience.
Right.
Gotcha.
Or I am
well,
looking
to
at roll
start,
20. I'm not looking at rolls.
Right.
Well, to start things off, I rolled an 11.
Okay.
Yay, Reggie.
So, all right.
Are we not
I actually
helping in
rolled
this?
twice as well, so I got a 22.
Okay.
So,
You're safe.
Imp, how would you help them climb?
Well, no, because I thought like Katie and I were like.
Yeah,
ascending with-
that will come a little bit later. Right now,
Oh,
you
okay.
guys are so close to the cliff that it's really not going to be difficult for them to figure out where to put their handholds and things like that. As they get higher and higher, they will rely on you more and more.
Okay.
But for right now, with the two of you, you guys watch as I'm assuming Arai, you're going to be in front.
First, yeah.
So you guys watch as Arai gets up to the cliff and rubs his hands together, flexes a little bit, and just takes a handhold and just starts lifting himself up and looking very effortless as he does it. He looks kind of like a fish in water. He just looks like the most natural movement as possible. You watch as he pauses every few seconds, looks for his next handhold, shifts, moves, and just keeps going this very, very even rhythm. Reggie, on the other hand, gets his first handhold and just starts kind of climbing and trying to keep up with Arai. And compared to the very kind of smooth, rhythmic climbing that Arai is doing, Reggie feels more like early 20th century tempo music, where you can't really tell where the beat is or even what the time signature is, and it keeps changing randomly. But they are slowly making their way up the cliff. Where you guys were able to find a spot to climb, it's looking like you need to get about 150 feet up here. So in this first round, between the two of you, you make it about 25 feet up without too much difficulty. Arai, go ahead.
Arai sets an anchor.
Okay. So Arai goes and hammers an anchor in. You test the anchor. Feels secure. At the end of that round, since Arai is in the lead, I will start with you. Choose even or odd.
Even.
All right. So as you guys as you guys are kind of clinging on to it, you guys hear voices on the ship getting further away as the ship itself is moving away from where the falling rocks is, as was intended. They get about 100 feet away. Since you guys are going to be helping with this, you don't want to be too far away. Yeah. And as that happens, you guys suddenly feel your stomachs just kind of drop as the wall that you're clinging on moves.
Oh, great.
The island itself is shifting a little bit in the veil, and you feel the island drop, and you watch as the veil starts rushing up at you. And both of you first get this kind of feeling of falling, and so you cling a little bit harder, realize you're not falling, the island is. And then after it drops about 20-ish feet, it stops and then rises up again.
Oh, God.
And I'd like both of you to, I'll let you choose either strength saving throw or constitution saving throw.
Strength.
Okay.
Strength.
Oh, hold on. All right, good.
And you guys can choose different ones if you want. It's just,
Okay.
you're just trying to
strength.
stay on this wall right now.
26.
26. Yeah, you're good. Reggie?
15.
15. You're good too. So as this happens, you guys watch as the island kind of bobs in the veil just a little bit, and from 100 feet away, it doesn't look quite as intense as it does when you are clinging to this rock face and the entire island bounces with you on it.
I threw up on the ship.
Yeah, Reggie is just like clinging onto the wall, going, why?
I was like, shh, breathe.
So you shouldn't, you breathe.
Okay.
Whatever you do, don't look down.
I don't need your. Oh God!
What did I just fucking tell you?
Stop, you're distracting me.
Is it working?
So you guys did not lose any height from that. You're still about 25 feet up. You have 125 feet left.
Jesus.
At this point, I'm going to have Aoi and... well, I'll let you guys choose which one of you wants to roll and which one of you guys wants to assist.
I'll be back in 2 seconds. Hold on.
Okay.
I asked in chat. I wanted to check on that. I have a +6 in investigation.
Okay, you spot. I'll assist.
Okay. So, between the two of you, you two haven't really interacted in this particular way before. And something that you may not have expected, Smegwick, because a lot of what Aoi has done thus far has been very kind of martial. She has relied very much on her martial training. And now that she's becoming much more intellectual, you watch her actually pull out paper and a compass and various other things. And you watch her actually start like plotting a course and looking things. And between the two of you guys are going, okay, that seems like probably the steadiest there, and you'll have the easiest amount. So go ahead and, Smegwick, make your investigation check with advantage.
5 on the first roll. Much better. 17 plus 6, 23.
23. Okay, so your athletics checks each get a +2 to
Nice.
their to checks this turn. As you guys hear Smegwick,
Yeah.
probably
If I need to, I could even have Spitwit fly up and go like, here.
okay, yeah. So, because my next question was going to be, you're 100 feet away and it's loud. How are they going to hear you? But if you're using Smegwick, that communication works pretty well. So, yeah, go ahead and Arai and Reggie, give me another athletics check.
Oh boy.
So
You
plus
know-
2, so 22.
22, not bad. Reggie, if you want this to go better, if you piss off Arai, he gets
He will
bonuses.
throw you.
So,
He gets bonuses.
it only lasts
12.
for a minute. 12, okay. So you're
Until I attack someone.
you're going up. You had
Piss me
11
off,
last
Reggie, I
time,
dare you.
12 this time. We make enough rolls, you might get to a decent number.
Yeah, 12 plus 2, so 14.
Before you get worrying, I would point out that if you didn't have climbing gear, this would be so much worse with your rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, Arai gets into a rhythm. And again, you can almost feel a beat to it where it's like grab, move, set, repeat. Grab, move, set, repeat. One after another going up the mountain. And then Reggie comes with his drum solo. Bum, ba-da, bum, 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 ba-da, bum, ba-da, bum, 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 ba-da, bum, 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 bum. And you guys, Arai, you're starting to notice a little bit of a pull on your anchor line as he's reaching the limit of your 10 foot. You actually have to slow yourself a little bit to keep Reggie with you. So at this point, you guys only make it about 20 feet this time. But you seem to be in a pretty good spot. You're still solid.
Watching him trying to climb up, it's like watching a
fish tap dance.
He's impersonating a hamster trying to be on a unicycle.
Anchor.
Just kick
Anchor.
it.
Okay, so tap another anchor in. Reggie, choose even or odd.
Oh crap.
Roll your dice and choose the opposite. No, I'm kidding.
No, actually, I'm going with what you did. I'm also going to go even.
Okay.
I would just point out we never know whether it's good or bad in our favor. We never know.
I know!
Yeah.
We never know.
It does not help.
It's one of my favorite things about using this even or odd thing is
It's
So-
random.
as you guys are doing there, you hear this kind of cracking, almost thunder sound, and you see above you part of the cliff face has broken off and is coming at you rapidly.
Jesus.
Those of you on the ship see this as well. You guys basically have a turn to figure out what you want to do. What do you guys want to do?
How big is it? Big enough to crush them?
It's probably about Arai's size. Like it's a decent chunk. And if it hits them and you guys do nothing, it is bare minimum is going to hurt a lot, and it will probably take them down the cliff.
Shit.
Can we grapple it and pull it away from them so it won't hit them? Still come down, but not hit them?
If you'd like to try that, it'll be difficult to hit a
Or
moving
far.
target and then pull it quickly, but it's theoretically possible.
Hypothetically, is it that we see it and they don't?
No, all of you guys are aware of it.
Okay, we all do. Okay.
So everyone is aware of what's happening. If you want to try and help them with something, you can go that route. If you want to try and attack the rock, you can go that route. It's entirely up to you what you want to do with this.
If
How far are they away from us?
About 100 feet.
Could I use Eldritch Blast to possibly try to propel it?
Do you have?
I was thinking the same thing, trying to just hit the thing.
well, the problem is if we hit it and it breaks, it could go into the
True.
and break more.
True.
Or hit their rope on the way down.
Yeah.
Well, the smaller it is, the less like impact damage is going to do because it's just smaller. Mm-hmm. The Pythons and you guys specifically are designed to deal with a little bit of stress. The more stress you put on them, the more chance that they're going to fail. So that is 100% an option. I would say that Eldritch Blast, unless you have something like Repelling Blast from Warlock Invocation, you wouldn't be able to move it, but you could just pummel it and try to break it into smaller pieces. That is 100% a viable option.
Let's play Asteroids.
Right.
Okay. So I will say, if you're trying to break it apart, you can't both break it apart and have Krexney try and grapple it and pull it away. Okay, so
I won't. I'm not pulling it away.
That's perfectly fine. So then, Aoi, why don't you just make me, 2 attack rolls at this level?
2 attacks.
Yep. Go ahead and make me.
Same
If you want to do it too,
well.
you guys can do it simultaneously. So that's a total of 4 blasts.
Easy.
Oh, nice. 24.
24. Go ahead and roll all both your attacks and go ahead and roll yours as well.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, 24 again.
Not bad. All right, so both of those definitely hit. Go ahead and roll your damage on those, Aoi.
All right.
26 and 16.
Okay, those both hit. Go ahead and roll the damage for those two.
Okay. The damage I will roll. Okay. Because I have Agonize Blast.
5 total.
5 total? Okay. So you guys watch as Aoi kind of pulls her sword out, and she kind of steadies it on her bracer, and you watch as 2 bolts of energy fly out, and they knock off a few chips from it. It's still mostly intact at this point. Smegwick, your damage?
22 total.
22. And then Smegwick extends his hand. You watch 2 more blasts, and they hit the 2 spots that Aoi had kind of created some cracks in it, and you watch as the thing kind of shatters. Arai and Reggie, you guys are kind of rained down upon with little bits of rock and rubble things. None of it does any damage.
Pixie dust.
Agonizing Blast.
But it definitely...
Because of the delay with sound, you hear way too late after the rocks hit you. Hey, watch out!
So, let's keep going.
Reggie, I was going to swing you.
Smegwick, why don't you do your spotting?
Okay, what are we seeing? Okay, let's do this. There. Okay, that's not... Okay, 9 on the first roll on the die.
How far can my hook shot go?
If you're using the sniper rifles, I think it's like 600 feet. Like it's...
Oh, okay.
It's
Can
far.
I be looking for a place that looks secure while they're... Because I'm not doing anything right now.
Sure, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Close to the entrance. Investigation, you said?
Yeah, investigation or perception. I'll let you use either.
Better of the two was 18.
18. Okay, so you guys get a +1 as Spitwick comes around and kind of spots for you and tells you which path is going to be the easiest for you. So go ahead and give me your athletics checks. It was at this point the bard realized that reliable talent wasn't nearly as useful as he thought it was.
19.
19, cool. Reggie?
21.
21.
Hey!
Dun,
So-
dun, dun,
A little
finally.
bit smoother.
So, Arai, having had to artificially slow yourself to keep Reggie close enough so that you're not kind of dragging him as you go, you get out of your rhythm just slightly. Your rhythm is slightly more staccato, but you're still going. And then you start realizing that there's some slack in your safety line. And you look up, and Reggie has finally fallen into his rhythm. He's kind of going. And you guys are able to make it an additional 30 feet up. So,
Tiptoe through the tulips.
so anyone that is keeping
So we're
track.
about 75 feet up.
And so we've done 25 plus 20 plus
20
30.
plus 30.
So that brings us up to 85 feet? Is there? No, 75 feet. There we go. You were
75
right.
feet.
I was wrong. Math is hard, folks. Stay in school. So you are about halfway up. In Arai, I'm going to have you choose even or odd for me.
Odd.
Okay. All right. As you guys kind of get ready for the next part of the climb, the mountain doesn't seem to do anything to you this time, or the cliff face doesn't seem to do anything to you this time. So, spotters, make your check.
Team on the first roll. I'll add up later. Okay, so 15 plus 6, 21.
29. Okay. Plus 2 to the athletics checks. Crixie, what did you get for your investigation or perception check?
9.
9. Okay. So you're having a hard time finding the next spot that you think is going to be good. You've got a spot picked out that you think after this climb up will probably be the right time to shoot it. You're not 100% certain it's the greatest, but it's the greatest one you've been able to find.
Mhm.
So, Arai, Reggie, give me athletics check plus 2 from the spotting.
Athletics plus 2.
26.
26. Okay.
Athletics with what I have plus 2, that's 21 again.
Okay.
Hey!
So you guys have fallen into a really solid rhythm, and you're slowly making your way up. Each one, grab, lift, steady, repeat. Grab, lift, steady, repeat. And you're going up in this really great feeling momentum. You get another 30. You get another 40 feet up, which is really nice. Crexy, why don't you make me an attack roll with your crossbow?
Okay. Uh, 12. That's one, right? The plus 5 with the crossbow?
Yes, it'll just whatever your dexterity
12.
plus your proficiency bonus. So.
12.
Okay, so as you fire it off, you guys hear the sound of sharpshooter. Go ahead.
Just to point out, sorry, like it's saying 17 in the roll.
She was rolling
I hit it.
disadvantage, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're rolling with disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah, 12.
Okay, so
Coincidence.
you guys hear the sound of a you guys hear the sound of Crexney firing, and Arise. You hear it coming. Your kind of danger sense flares, and you kind of move your head to the side right as a bolt goes and lands right where your head was previously. It destabilizes the rock around it, and you start feeling the wall kind of shift and give under your weight. So I'm going to need another athletics check specifically from Arai to kind of reposition yourself so that you don't fall.
26.
26. You're perfectly
Oh, thank
fine.
God.
You, Reggie, you see the wall above you starting to kind of crumble, and you see Arai starting to kind of fall backwards, and Arai just kind of tenses and like a cat leaps to the side, grips onto the wall, and all the rock and everything that falls off from it kind of goes over your back, and you guys watch as it plops through the veil and disappears from existence.
Are you okay
I love
there?
you.
It's,
At this point, it sounds like.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
So, no loss of height from that, but no benefit gained from it.
Yep.
And if my math is correct, you are now at 115. Is that correct? So you guys have about 10 feet left before you're at, or no, 150, sorry. You guys have
35.
35, thank you.
You're welcome.
I used to be able to do math, folks. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
So a really good push, you might be able to get to the top this turn. Otherwise, it'll probably be another one. So
don't jinx it.
spotters,
right.
why don't you go ahead and make your roll?
Okay.
Dirty 20.
30-20. Okay. +2 to your athletics checks. Go ahead and make your athletics checks, Harai and Reggie.
Down the dice.
$29.
29. Reggie?
You do. What did you do? God damn it, Reggie!
Oh
We
no.
can't hear you. Or I can't.
5.
Okay.
+2 is 5? Jesus.
Oh, with +2, then it would be 7.
Well, that makes a huge difference. All right,
A big difference.
Harai.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, you got it. Tell me if you get a nat 1, because that does.
This
it does
is a nat 1. I have a +4 in athletics.
Okay. So, Harai, as you start kind of climbing up, you get back into your rhythm, and then suddenly you have to stop because you feel the line not just go taut, but you feel yourself being pulled down just slightly. As Reggie, as you're climbing, you miss a handhold and you just start dropping. Now, luckily, you are attached to Harai.
Really well.
But Harai, I'm going to need an athletics check to kind of keep yourself anchored while he gets himself back on.
18.
18. Okay. You're having some difficulty, and you start feeling yourself slip slightly. You lose about 10 feet as you start slipping down, and you have to keep grabbing and finding, but you do eventually get to a spot where you're solid, and you're able to slap an anchor in and anchor yourself and him to the rock as much as you can. He is still dead weight hanging on you. Reggie, I need you to... I'll let you choose this one to get back on the wall. You can do athletics or acrobatics.
Acrobatics, definitely.
Okay.
Or survival.
That is a nat 20 for 26.
All right.
Finally.
So, as you're hanging there and you can see 100 feet below you the void of the veil, and you can see a few of the rocks just kind of disappear. And watching things go into the veil is always kind of strange because the veil itself, while it is gas, it's clouds. They're very kind of thick and heavy and dense. And so watching things disappear into the veil, they almost have a liquid-like appearance where they kind of like plop into it and the clouds kind of roll and rumble around it. So you kind of steady yourself, see Harai gripping the wall hard enough that his knuckles have all gone completely white. And you just kind of swing yourself over, get a grip on the wall again, and are able to take some of the weight off him. And Harai, you suddenly realize you're no longer carrying Reggie behind you. But you're 10 foot down.
You okay? Crack's voice.
Got nervous.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Let's just get going. And you did notice, like, his voice kind of changed as well from the sheer terror. But he's like, let's just go. Let's just go.
Smugwick sees that
I didn't mean
sees
to
that,
crack.
that
Jack's
dangling
scratch.
happen. It's like, I am so glad he didn't have a second helping at dinner.
Spotters, give me a roll.
Good on the first one. Okay, 19.
19. Okay. +1 to each of your athletics checks. Arai and Reggie, give me athletics checks.
25.
25. Okay.
Every one of these rolls have been absolutely dog water.
Are we getting +2 again on this one?
+1
Or no?
this time.
+1. 9.
9. Okay.
Ooh.
Not quite as bad as before. Arai, you get back into your rhythm and you're going, but again, you feel the line go taut, and for a brief instance, you're worried that you're going to have to support his weight again. So you stop and grip as hard as you can, and it doesn't happen. And you realize he just isn't keeping up with you. So you slow your pace so that he can stay with you. You only get about 20 more feet up.
Still got 25 feet left.
So one more good push might do it. However, Reggie, choose even or odd.
Don't pick any. Just say nothing.
Odd?
All right. As you guys are there kind of preparing for your next push forward,
All right,
nothing
Dex.
more happens. Arai starts considering, if I just cut it, I can make it.
And then
Or even better, Arai is thinking about her pike. Is like, if I skewer him, he'll stay until I get to the top.
Stay.
So, spotters, give me a spot check.
Okay.
Arai's gonna look at Reggie. Face
Like,
up.
Reggie is not looking at anyone. He is like staring at the
Staring
rock
at the
wall
wall.
itself. And he's just like,
I will never blink.
Dirty 20 again.
320. Okay.
Woo, woo.
You got so lucky. The first roll was a 1.
The athletics checks with a +2 to your athletics, please. Reggie and Arai.
I don't want to roll. If I don't move, death can't see me. Because
Death's
death is
vision
Death can
is based
see.
on movement, just like
Because
a
death
Death
is
has
a
killed this wall. 24.
24. Cool. Do you roll under a 20? Like, is that there are numbers lower
I have
than
a +8, and I've been getting +2. So the answer is no right now.
with +2, that's a
It's
12.
Arai's turn to
12.
fall.
Okay. So,
No.
Let's just see what happens.
as you climb up, Arai, you get to the very edge and are able to pull yourself up. Reggie, however, is still far enough down that he's not able to get up. But if you want to pull him the remaining way,
Yes,
Magic
yes,
could help,
yes, yes, yes.
yes.
very yes, very
You just
yes.
walk into the cave without him.
Virus
Okay, bye.
equals very yes. What does that mean? You. And now the compy has peed the floor.
Spitwit is on the is just like on his cowl, like pseudo pulling, like
No.
Yeah, as
Trying to help him from the bottom.
As Reggie is getting pulled up, you can see, like, you
Finagling.
feel the back of your tunic just like being pulled, and you realize that Spitwick is trying to lift you and failing miserably. As Arai just pulls him up.
like a friggin' hummingbird.
So Arai, when you get to the top, you have enough. As you look around, the ruins themselves are about 1,000 feet away from the edge of the cliff, and there's nothing else around here to kind of anchor or anything. So you go around and you just take a bunch of pythons and other things and
like,
just create
spread them, yeah.
as much of an anchor as you can. And as far as you can tell, you've got a solid anchor. And the rest of you, with a little bit of help and ingenuity, the rest of you are able to get up the cliff and pull up Ogun at the very end, which takes all of you working together.
I was thinking about this if it makes the job any easier, but if there's no difficulty, I could also do preparing. I could do the ritual cast floating disc. That thing has a weight limit of 300 pounds, and if we lash and help along with the pulling.
I mean, yeah, if you want to do that, that'll definitely make it go a little bit faster. Because Ogun, I mean, a normal, however you pronounce the name of that creature, I mean, it's like a 200 or 300 pound cat easily. If it was made out of flesh and bones. A metal version of it is probably at least 300 pounds. Like, it's a heavy creature. But yeah, you guys are able to be able to pull it.
Its normal weight as an animal is 400 pounds.
400.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
so it's a big kitty.
It's huge.
I
It's
know
a
game
big
mechanics.
kitty.
I know game mechanics. Steel Defender's a medium creature.
Well,
Yeah, well, I am a medium creature, and I weighed 300, almost 350 at one point.
Yeah.
So
Jody.
my dad was a medium creature, and he weighed over 400. So yes, you can have medium creatures that weigh that much.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I'm just saying for context.
But yeah, you guys are all able to get to the top, and you can see the ruins themselves. But unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it for tonight.
no fighting. We all survived.
As always, if you missed any of this, I do upload all these to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JojoTrainerJody. And then, like I said, we have now gone weekly for Tears of the Realms, which is my new Zelda campaign on Zelda Universe's Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Zelda Universe TV. Tune in Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and you can watch me terrorize an entire different group of people. So,
For the most part. Imp also assists in the terrorization.
otherwise, again, that is all for me today, and I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.